Hey guys, so today I want to do some quick benchmarking with my Galaxy S4 on Android 4.3, which is the latest version of Android here. Let's go into the settings area, about phone. See, there we go, pretty sweet. And then of course iOS 7 here, beta 2 with voice memo and awesomeness. So let's check this out. Let's start off with the Geekbench app to benchmark it a little bit. And of course, if you just look at the specs, the Galaxy S4 has better and higher specs, and Android is pretty famous for that. But we should never forget that it's about how good the hardware and software has been optimized to work together. If they aren't, then you can have super killer specs and horrible software, then the experience will be horrible still. So wow, it did run pretty quick there on my Galaxy S4. Scored 3196. Have to wait for the iPhone 5 here a little bit. There we go, so scored 1675. So on this first score here, we can see they kind of do crush in this program, gaining almost 100% more points or score. And then we'll check out the Entity 3D rating app, which should be a little bit more of a heavy benchmarking app. You can see it looks a little bit random here. I'm not even sure if it's working here on Android 4.3 on my S4. You can see that you don't see a guy there in the middle, you don't see the FPS counter or anything. So we will see here once it has been finished running this, see if we get any score here on my S4. And also, if you want to see more videos on Android 4.3 on S4, I've been doing that, and hopefully they are up now on my YouTube channel. If you want to install it, you can install it on the GTN 505, and it's basically the Google Now edition. Google has released a Google edition of the S4, and that is the software that you can now get on the GTN 505 edition of S4, not the octa-core variant of the S4 at the moment when I'm saying this, but that will probably change as well. But just so you know, So I think we got a score here also on the there we go. No, I don't want to share the score. So we got a score of 7,855 here on my Galaxy S4 versus 12,453 here. So if you're just looking at the score, it seems like the iPhone is crushing. But then remember that this one's rendering everything in 1080p, so we'll be running this off-screen benchmark that will probably do this test a little bit fair in the same resolution. And just because the iPhone doesn't have as big of a display, it usually will run the test a little bit easier there, but you should not forget that there's a lot of more extra pixels here that it has to render on the Galaxy S4, so never forget that. That would be pretty sad. That would be pretty horrible. And you can see that you don't see anything render on the S4 in terms of the UI. So looks a little bit random, or not just a little bit random, but crazy random. There we go, so it should probably also be ready on the S4. So we got a score now that's a little bit more fair, 2,000, almost 2,500 here, 2,500 here on the S4 versus 2,600. So the iPhone 5 did smash the S4 here on both tests. The S4, of course, with Adreno 320 versus Power BI SGX 543, and Apple's pretty famous for having good GPUs in their phones. Quick little video here about that. If you want to see any specific video, specific app or anything, you can let me know and I'll see what I can do. Have a good day.